body over on the couch, like a piece of it next to the neck.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it looks blue. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. So stealth. So it's just the reflection of the window.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hey, this is Johnny Bean. 5:06 p.m., January 23rd, 2017. I'm here with David Nesdahl.
Hey.
And of course, Ron. Is it Ron? Rob.
Close enough. Close
One
enough.
of those. Juan.
Johnson.
It's Juan Johnson. That'd be Juan Wanson, wouldn't it? I can say that because that's my name too. Let's see. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the NAMM show, and I'm getting over a cold. I was sick the entire time I was gone, so I'm starting to get really like I can't hear, which is really strange. But what? Yeah. So anyway, so we'll talk about the NAMM show, and hey, 802 Blues, how you doing, man? And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the chat box. Let me open this up real quick. So real quickly, how are you guys? How was your weekend?
Good. Awesome. It's cool seeing all the stuff that you were posting, Johnny, and Instagram and Facebook and all that. That was great. Yeah, it's cool. So just kind of neat looking at all the pictures and stuff you had. That was pretty intense.
Thanks. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, you know. Hey, everybody. Hey, Michael James, Rick Smith, Daniel, Tat Freak, Michael Bishop, Rick Smith. Is there two Rick Smiths in here? Johnny, any new solid color EVH Wolfgangs? Pris, hello. David Allen Wright, hey, man. Here we go. It's happening here. 27 people. 5 thumbs ups. 1 thumb upside down. 30 people watching. Look at this. Wow. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, any questions you guys have about the new EVH gear stuff, let us know in the chat box. And if we don't get to you, keep asking it. Okay. Let's see. Yo. Les, John, Stefan, Stacy. Everybody's here.
My goodness.
Tubin?
Busy place.
Tubinden in 1. Thank you. Says he loves the show. Is this a show?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Why not?
Funny on 000 Dallas guitar. Hello, Frank C, Richard Ross. Everybody. Wow.
Eduardo.
A lot of people saying hello today.
Let's just say hi to everybody and then just go home. What do you think?
Hi, everybody.
Hey, what pickups come with the 1550? Okay, guys, calm down. Take it easy. Okay. No. Please ask questions away. Here we go. We'll talk all about NAMM today. Okay, what pickup comes in the 5150? Dave, do you know?
Yes, it's a Wolfgang pickup. Alnico 2.
The Alnico 2. Okay. First of all, let me tell you guys, man.
Double black bobbins.
Yes. Okay, everybody wants to know about that guitar, so I'll tell you guys about that guitar. I mean, Dave can tell you the specs. I'll tell you just from, playing the thing. The thing, as far as looks, it looks amazing. It looks really, really cool. Now, you guys know all the Stripe series, they're tributes to Eddie. They're not replicas, okay? So I know a lot of people are saying, oh, the headstock, what's wrong with the headstock, whatever, They can't use the actual, the original shape of that headstock. Can't be done.
Yeah, you're not going to see something like quite like this, or this isn't the 5150, but you're not going to see something like exactly like one of Ed's old Kramers on those. It's going to be a little different.
Yeah, and they work on those guitars for years. I believe that guitar was in development for over 2 years.
Yep, it was approved 2 years ago. Absolutely.
So they work on the stuff forever. But anyway, I really like the shape of the headstock. I think it looks cool. It's you know, it's a little different. But it's just think of it. I know I just said, you know, it's not a replica or anything, but think of it as like a new chapter in like the Eddie, you know, arsenal. Just think of it like that, you know, if you can. I can. I definitely can.
I can too. And you got to think,
that's why it's cool.
If they're going to play, if they're going to be on the road, you know darn well that he's going to use that guitar. That guitar is going to be one of the guitars in his guitar boat, and he will use it.
Yep.
And it'll look just like that. It's not going to be any different than the one you just saw.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember the last tour? They broke out the circles, the star.
Yep.
Yeah. That gloss black standard.
Yeah.
You know, and that was great. Seeing him play that circles made me want to get a circles, and I did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when I saw him play the star. You know, when I saw Ed play the new star, the EVH star. I ended up getting rid of mine and got the EVH star just because I wanted something that Ed was playing again. You know. So.
Sure.
Hey, Hef is watching us. Hey, dude.
Nice.
What's up, Hef?
What's up, man? I like your beard. He's got this huge beard now. You guys see that?
I know. I see him on Facebook.
Yeah,
Billy
I've got one kind of coming in. Huh?
Billy F. Gibbons Hefner.
Yes.
You know, ZZ Hef. ZZ Hef, yeah.
Zach 5150 asks, are they hitting the road? I didn't say they were hitting the road. I just said the next time they are on the road, he'll be using that guitar, I'm sure.
Yep. Jimmy Carr, what's up, Jimmy?
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Tat Girl. Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr.
Hey, man. Yeah, Jimmy actually sent me a note. Was it last night, yesterday, or today? I'm totally screwed up. I can't think at all. But did I say Jeremy? Jimmy. Jimmy sent me a note and it was saying something like, see, now I can't remember. Something like have a great trip or maybe it was when I came back. I can't. Anyway, thank you again, Jimmy. I know I totally screwed that up. Because I can't hear. My head is all just like weird. Yeah. Hey, Michael. Hey, Pete.
Killer Chimp asked me on my 5150 replica, what finish did I use? I don't know what you mean, Killer Chimp. There is no finish on the guitar. It's paint. It's just, there's no finish. It's no clear gloss. So maybe that's not exactly what you mean. Explain.
Well, I mean, speaking about the new 5150 EVH, the finish, it's like a matte finish.
Yeah.
It's not glossy. It's
right.
just
that's what mine is. That's the way mine is.
It's smooth. It's just like a smooth finish. And people keep asking me about those decals, about the space tape. And yeah, that's on top of the finish.
Okay, so you can actually feel the stickers?
Yeah. Yeah, and the stars and the 5150.
Yeah.
That satin finish on the EVH GEAR 5150 looks great. Darren Moore says, "Hey, Darren."
Hey, Dave, I got a quick question for you on those numbers on the 5150 on the one that Johnny saw, the EVH. I couldn't tell close enough. Obviously, it's a tribute guitar. It's not an exact replica like yours or mine or Johnny's or you know whatever. But on those space tape, is that the correct prisms on the space tape, or
yes, it is. It's just it has the black outline on it already. Whereas on the original one, it didn't have an outline, but Eddie drew it in with a Sharpie or some sort of magic marker. But it's the correct prisms, yes.
Nice.
And it's the right color.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell from some of the pictures, but I wanted to see what your take on it was. So nice.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, speaking of pictures, I'll show you guys some pictures here.
What was the playability like, Johnny? Would you say it related? Was the neck feel similar to like the Circles guitar?
I actually thought the neck felt smaller. I actually thought it felt like like some Fender necks. You can feel it. like right here,
Mm-hmm.
like the middle of the neck. There's like a feeling. What's that called when there's a feeling to the middle of the neck?
It's V'd. It's like a V-neck.
A V. A V.
Yeah, it comes to a point, but it's not really a point on that guitar. It's like a deep C neck is what that one is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me, and I thought it was great. Like I said, it felt is smaller the right word? It didn't feel as flat
Right.
to me as let's say the Circles
Yeah.
neck.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, it's my favorite neck of all the Circles guitars, all those guitars. The feeling of that neck was just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And okay, here's a picture I took right here of the space tape that you guys call it.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it.
There it
That's
is.
the right stuff.
Real close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's actually on top. On
Nice.
top of the finish. You can feel
And
it.
that's the way it should be. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it actually comes with a D tuna as well. if you see
Yep.
that.
Cool. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I just want to take a quick second to say hey to Daniel Hall.
Yeah, me too.
And say you're welcome. It's just get better, do what you need to do to get well, and we'll see you. We will be here. So whenever you can see it, whenever you can see us, we'll always be here.
Yeah, Dan, definitely. It's great seeing you too.
Yeah.
And Killer Chimp, the reason my 5150 looks smooth is because I use a compound to on top when the guitar is totally painted. I use a slight compound and rub it gently so that the edges of the stripes are not you can't really feel them. So it's just a very light rubbing with compounds. So you're not taking all the paint off, but you're smoothing out the edges.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed David Allen Wright said a couple minutes ago. He said that Matt had said that it took like a year to source the space tape, which is kind of interesting. I wonder where they got the stuff from because not that EVH would necessarily go to K&E Guitars, but I mean, they could have probably just got the stuff from K&E wherever they get it from, or I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I wonder where they did source it from. Pretty interesting. I mean, the stuff is out there.
Yeah, Killer Chimp. That's right. You can still get it. I don't think Eddie Van Halen would sell it separately. So I think it'll just be on that guitar and that's it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can take it off if you want.
But once you take it off, you can't put it back on. Well, it won't stick.
No. But if you don't want it on there, because the guitar looks brand new, so it looks a lot like similar to the original guitar.
Yeah.
When it was brand new, even before it had the space tape on it.
Yeah.
So actually, if you want the look of the guitar when it was brand new without the space tape, you could probably take that right off and there you go. So a few things. What happened to Ron?
I don't know.
Did he melt? He's got the heater turned on over there. Yo, Jim Nichols. Hey, man. Hey, Jim Nichols is here. Hey, I loved your NAMM coverage. Great pictures. Is the Circles guitar officially discontinued? And why? He's asking. Well, the Circles guitar was not there. As far as it being officially discontinued,
I'm going to say it is. If it's not shown at the NAMM show, then it's discontinued. There's no every other guitar that they have was there. So if you didn't see it, it's not being made anymore.
Oh, or they ran out of racks. I don't know.
No, there was plenty of room.
Dude, that booth is
for one more guitar.
That booth is tiny. That booth is tiny, man. It's very, very, very small. But let's see. Darren says Matt from EVH said nothing was discontinued. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I see him there every year. Very, very cool guy. Matthew, if you're watching this, thanks again, man.
Johnny was talking a minute ago about the 5150 being like when it was brand new. Here's a picture of it, like literally almost right after the Young Guitar Mag. It's like almost literally right after Eddie got done painting it, or whoever painted it. You can tell it's real clear. There's no space tape on it yet. Yeah.
A lot like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, nothing on the headstock for stars or anything like that. Kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're looking for that look, you know, definitely that guitar has it. But a few things, because I know we were kind of we were really scoping out that mock-up that they released, which I believe is like a computer graphic. I don't think that's a real guitar. The one that we were looking at before Wednesday,
Right.
And a few things is we were looking at that, and you saw there was the pickup had square legs in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The pickup on this guitar is the same as all the others as far as the legs. It's rounded.
Right.
It's the same thing, and I'll show you right here. I took this close up right here, and you can see inside there it's the same.
Yep.
It's round. Yeah.
It's just a regular. It's a regular old Wolfgang pickup in double black. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Rosie. Hey, Sinner.
Hey, Rosie.
Killer Chip. No, I didn't use rubbing compound to relic it. You use a. You mark it off with masking tape where you want it, and you also use an X-Acto knife and stuff like that, but not rubbing compound. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can do it that way, but that's not how I did it.
Let's see. What else? Yeah, as far as that graphic that they released, it had the outlets on it. The guitar at NAMM had just regular strap buttons, regular strap pins. Other than that, I mean, here's a good photo. Here's a good photo I took right here.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Of it. And if you guys want to see all these pictures, like actually, look at them and share them, you can go to Guitarist Johnny Bean, and they're all right there. And I shared that link to the EVH Gear Live Facebook page, and it's probably like on all the different pages by now. But let's see.
Mm-hmm. Joe Suma, the bridge pickup of the new Signature is the same pickup. It's the neck pickup that was changed. The neck pickup is an Alnico 3, which is going to make it sound a little cleaner than the previous pickup. It's a little more airy, a little cleaner sounding. And the reason why they did that is because if you own the 100-watt, the first amp or the Stealth Head 6L6 amps, the first channel is a little dirtier than the new EL34 head. So they wanted to clean the pickup up so you have that chimey clean sound on the clean channel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Echo. Uh-oh. I'm echoing. Look out. Is Joe Wentz in here? It sounds like when Joe jumps in. Hey, Joe.
The Joe Wentz Project.
Yeah. I still got it, man. I still have it. Look at me. You can tell. Stefan says he already stole my pictures. Oh, he means borrowed. He means he borrowed them.
Mm-hmm. Killer Chimp, if you Google the Eddie Van Halen's 5150 guitar, there should be photos of the exact measurements of the tape on the original guitar.
Yep.
You can look it up, and it's right there. It'll tell you all the measurements of all the tape you used to build it.
Yep. I actually have a picture, the actual picture of that. And the thickest black stripes on the 5150 are 1/2 inch. There's 1/4 inch, and then there's 3/8, I believe. But the picture Dave's talking about is readily available on the internet, and it's actually marked off on what the actual stripes widths are. That's a real helpful picture. I wish I'd had that back when I did my first 5150s.
Yeah, I wish they had that for all the guitars, especially the Rasta guitar. That's the toughest one to do.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, even this one, even the Kramerad guitar, it's like, the stripe on the bottom here, the one that goes around, it's significantly bigger than some of the other ones. And then if you look at the Neptune, it's the one that goes around the border of the body is significantly smaller.
Yeah, well, that's a 1/4 inch. That
right, exactly. Well, and actually, not to get away from the EVH guitars, but since we're talking about stripe width, it's kind of funny because Paul Unkert told Dave and I, and Anthony Sajazi when we were down there, and actually Johnny was on the call too, I think, when you called in, that we did that hangout. When they made those guitars, there was no rhyme or reason for any of the stripes. He just grabbed whatever tape he had, and it was usually like 1/2 inch tape, and he would just take a ruler and just cut the tape, and there was no rhyme or reason. It was total like, oh, this looks like a good width to use here, and just it had absolutely no.
That's right. They were all different sizes. They were, they weren't any particular size. They were just whatever they cut with an X-Acto knife.
Yep.
And they used.
And
whichever stripes were the straightest.
That's what he said too. And whatever paint they had laying around, it didn't even matter. I mean, they didn't even know what, oh, this looks like a cool red to use. It's all we have. Let's use this. You know?
That's why those guitars were orange, because that's the closest they think they had to red at the time. Right. It wasn't because it was something Eddie wanted. It's the can of paint they had in the shop at the time. So that's what they used. If you notice, the Hot for Teacher guitar is a different, deeper color red. Most of those guitars are all deeper red.
Yes.
A few of them from that 81, 82 era are the orangey color. Then all after that, it's darker red. It's they were just getting whatever reds they could get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the actual Unk guitar that he made Eddie, I want to say in the 2012 tour, the Unk guitar that was striped.
Yeah.
That's even darker red than any of the other ones that he's ever done. It just happened to be a can of like really dark red paint. So it's red and white with black stripes, but it's really dark red.
Yeah.
And Eddie apparently loved it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. David Allen Wright. I just saw that on the news desk yesterday. This guy Jason got to meet Ed right in front of 5150 Studios. Got his guitar signed and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Johnny could tell you some stuff about that guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. What? I can't even think.
Well, didn't you shake his hand? Didn't you meet him?
I did. Well, he ran into me.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Who was I with? I was with Philip McKnight, actually. Yeah. We were actually, after they kick you out, everybody just goes out front and everybody just hangs out, and there's live music a lot of times. And but I was standing out there with Philip McKnight and my friend, Dave, our friend, John Cruz, comes walking up, and I had already seen him a little earlier in the day. We hung out for like an hour, walked around, had a great time. And anyway, John Cruz, if you guys don't know, he's one of the Fender master builders.
He's the guy that everyone wants their guitar built by.
Amazing work, yeah.
He has a waiting list of over 3 years now. If you want a guitar built by him right now, you have to wait 3 years to get it.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a very, very, very cool dude. So anyway, I'll tell you the story. Well, real quickly. How can I do this? We were up. I was McKnight. If you guys saw the video I posted of, Jim Nichols says Unker said everything was willy nilly. He says.
Yeah, he did.
If you guys, one of the videos I posted was me just showing off the booth. You know, the EVH booth. You know, filming like, hey, this is it. These are the guitar picks. This is, you know, the beanie. You know, the case. You know, all that stuff. And as I'm filming that, Philip McKnight sent me a text, and he's like, "Where are you?" or something. You know, because we'd never met in person. You know. So in that video, I said, "Oh, McKnight's trying to find me. I got to go. I'll come back later. See ya." You know. So anyway, so McKnight comes up there, Philip McKnight, and he's good friends with one of the Fender reps up there. So the Fender rep was giving him a tour of everything in that whole room, and it's not just EVH. It's Gretsch. It's is it Jackson? What else? Well, I think that's it. Maybe there's one more.
Forget Fender.
Well, yeah. No, Fender's not even in that room. Fender's in the other room. Fender has its own room. The room that EVH Gear is in. A lot of you guys don't know this, but
Charvel,
yeah. The room there's at NAMM at Fender. There's two rooms. There's the Fender room, which is everything Fender that you can imagine. You know, the tellies, the strats, the custom stuff. You know, all this stuff. And then across the hall from that is a much smaller room, which is Charvel, Jackson, Gretsch, the EVH Gear. That's where they are.
Yeah.
So the room in itself is very small. The booth is very small, you know. So it gets very, very crowded there. It's crazy. Very, very crazy. So anyway, so McKnight comes up, and one of the Fender guys gave him a tour. What was his name? Where's my I have his card. He actually we were talking for a while. Anyway, he offers McKnight a ticket to this show. There's a show happening, I think, at the Anaheim. What was the big EVH show the other night? Do you guys know?
The what?
It's the one. I think Skolnick was there. Skolnick was there. Metal. Dave, you know.
No, I don't.
Anyway, somebody can tell us in the chat box. Anyway, yeah, there's the big Fender EVH, you know, Charvel, you know, show they do. They used to call it NAMM Jam. Anyway, there was a yeah, David Allen. That's it. What was that show called? He said he watched it. He watched it live on over the internet. Anyway, that was the show. I think. Saturday, Friday.
Hey everybody, hey, this is Johnny Bean.
Oh, come on.
506.
I'm already on here. Okay.
Hef, what's up, Hef? What's up, Hef?
Okay.
Oh, and Sinner, yes, I will show you a workout routine. You can pick my brain sometime, Sinner. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, there was this big show. The Fender guy gave McKnight a ticket. McKnight turns to me and he's like, "Do you want this?" I'm not going to this. You know, too tired. You know, he had stuff to do. You know, so he gave me the ticket, and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man." But I thought, well, you know, it looks cool. Although a friend of mine wanted the ticket. My friend Mike, who I hang out with every year at NAMM. He's the guy. Do you guys remember that guy that Eddie gave that guitar to back in 1985 at NAMM?
Yeah.
The guy that won the huge contest. Yeah, that's Mike. Anyway, we hang out every year at NAMM. He's a very, very good friend of mine. He wanted to go to that show. In fact, earlier, maybe I'm getting my days mixed up. We were at the Mike, Gerd, and I were at the EVH Gear booth when Adam Futone came in with Eric and Mark. Yeah. Everybody came in. Adam came up to us, and we all took a picture, right? And then right after that, Gerd and Mike and I had to get to this this other booth somewhere to grab these tickets. So we take off, and they were all out, right? So anyway, so I think, see, now I've got so many shows mixed up here. Maybe that wasn't the same ticket. Anyway. Anyway, so the guy gives McKnight a ticket. I'm trying to tell a story, and I know this is crazy, but I know, and I can't even hear. So anyway, McKnight, you know, maybe it was a different show, but anyway, this was a show that Mike wanted to go to as well. If it wasn't the same one, it was another one, you know. And Mike loves going to all the different shows. So I texted Mike, say, hey, I just got a ticket to the show, or I sent him a photo of it, and he's like, where'd you get that? You know, because he couldn't get them. And I'm like, I have it. If you want it, come get it. He's like, oh, I'm already across town. You know, he went to go see Buck Cherry. You know, he was already gone, so he couldn't use it. So anyway, so I had the ticket, and then McKnight and I were outside, and John Cruz comes walking up with this friend of his, and John asks if I'm going to go to that show, that Fender show. And I'm like, no, but I've got a ticket, you know, I'm not going to go. And the friend he was with was like, oh, you know, because he couldn't get a ticket to it either. So I'm like, dude, you want this? And he's like, yeah. And then they're both like, Johnny, we owe you, you know. And anyway, that was the guy in that. See, long story short, man, I'm just trying to kill time here, I guess. Long story short, the guy that I gave that ticket to was the guy that got his guitar signed by Eddie.
Oh, that's cool.
If any of this makes any kind of sense. And I hadn't seen the video yet of him at 5150. I hadn't seen it, although I recognized his name from his tag, and John made sure he told me that story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Pete says too late, Johnny. Yeah, I know. I'm just butchering this. But anyway, so that's the guy. That was the guy, and he told me, you know, some cool little things about, you know, about being over there and the guitar with Eddie. And he's like, Johnny, by the way, that guitar, that thing's gone. He had that thing shipped right back, you know. You know, to Japan, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you guys haven't seen it, yeah, it's a cool little video.
Yeah, it is a cool video. It is very cool.
But anyway, it's, yeah, NAMM is just crazy. Let me just tell you, it's just nuts. You know, you go there, you know, there's so many people that I want to see every year, and a lot of the time it's people you only see like once a year, you know. Excuse me. You only see them like once a year, so you try to find everybody. It's just it's craziness. So huh?
No, go ahead, Johnny.
Was that me? So yeah, I did see a lot of people. I saw McKnight, I saw Adam, I saw Eric, I saw Mark, but it was just very brief. It was just very, very quick, you know. I actually watched them film one of their videos that's on their channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one where Matt was giving them a tour of all the gear, all the EVH gear. I was standing right there watching them film that, and it's just they were busy. So after a while, I had to split and I left.
Hey, Killer Chimp, not to steal Dave's thunder, but the white side stripe on the 5150 is 1/2 inch.
Oh, that's your thunder, Dave?
Well, no, he's asking. Killer Chimp was asking Dave, but if I didn't answer it, it's going to go up too far. And I won't be able to see it anymore. But that the wide stripes on the side of the body of the 5150, those are 1/2 inch. So that's what you'd be looking for, 1/2 inch. And sometimes it's hard to get 1/2 inch tape, but you can find it. You can always get 3/4 inch tape and then just cut it at 1/2 inch. Just take an X-Acto knife and a ruler. But,
Frank C, when is the body coming in? Or did you get it this weekend? I got it. No, I'll show it to you guys real soon. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. I finally will have a Wolfgang guitar, believe it or not.
Well, you kind of already have one.
I'm excited. It's just I have to build it myself, you know.
Yeah, but it'll be good.
You know, Anthony, he says he's disappointed with the EVH GEAR 5150. Why is that, man? I wasn't disappointed with it at all. I thought it was amazing. I would love to have one.
But again, if you're looking for if you're looking for a replica guitar, and I was talking to somebody on VH Links about this today, you know, I never in a million years would I trade my 5150 replica for any other guitar, because I like that relic look. But that's what I want. These are tribute guitars, so you're not going to get an exact, like Johnny said, you're not going to get an exact duplicate. I mean, the stripes on that guitar are pretty darn close, as far as I can tell. They look great. But I mean, you're not going to get a guitar with the right routes, and you know, the cavity in the back's going to be a little different. It's an EVH guitar, and the headstock's going to be a little different. It's not going to be an exact replica. It's a tribute guitar.
Yeah, like Chip Ellis told me a couple years ago when they debuted the Star. You know, a lot of people made a stink about the Star guitar. You know, the stripes being too big and whatever. And I remember Chip and I think we were crossing the street outside or something. We were at a stoplight. We're right in the cross to get into the venue or out or something like that. And we were talking about that, and he was saying, yeah, it's a tribute. You know, if it was going to be exact, you know, it would be one of those $25,000 replicas.
Right.
You know, even though people, you know, some people say those aren't exact either. You know, if you're, you know, that guitar is a homemade guitar, like it or not. Exactly. Even at Fender, it's a homemade guitar. So not every homemade guitar is. If you want a guitar that looks identical to something, it's going to be some manufactured thing. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well.
And they did pretty good on the tributes. I mean, look at the circles, and you know, the 5150 and the black and white, the Bumblebee. I mean, they came pretty darn close on some of them. You know.
We all seem to be forgetting one thing. Eddie doesn't want, if he wanted people to have exact replicas of his guitar, it would be exact replicas of the guitar. He would have it built. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that out there. He just doesn't. You know. Otherwise, it would have been done.
Yep.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would have been,
and it would be an arm and a leg. There'd be very few of them made, and in the grand scheme of things, like the Frankenstein 300 is not that many guitars in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Fender.
Right.
Not that many guitars, and you know, I mean, $25,000 is a hefty price tag, and it's not for everyone. But they sold all 300 of them, so 300 people agreed that it was a good buy.
Good deal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Brent. Zach, did I play through the EL34? No, I didn't. I played through the new LBX, the LBX2, it is called, I believe. I played through that. And if you watch the video, the couple of videos I posted playing the 5150 guitar and the USA Stealth, which we still need to get to. There's so many things we still have to get to here. That's all through the new LBX, and that thing sounds amazing. You know, I always said it did. I mean, even the original LBX, I always said that thing is loud, and Dave was always like, no, but it is.
Okay.
You know, and real quick, yeah, the new LBX, the LBX2, it has a clean channel, it has a green, and then it has a blue channel, which maybe they should call it what, like purple channel, maybe, because the new second channel to the new LBX is a combination between the blue and the red, right? Is that right? It's a bit heavier. You know, and McKnight actually picked that up just by the sound of it. We heard when McKnight and I were up there hanging out, we heard somebody jamming through it, and he was listening, and he's like, that sounds heavier than the blue channel. You know?
Yeah. 5150 Fly Guy asks for me to have a comment on what different? What pickup are we talking about? Major differences in what?
I don't know, but I gotta tuck the chickens in real quick. I'll be right back.
New
Oh, look at that! Look at that! There's the new guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that! That's the new guitar. All right, I'll be right back.
All right. Is it snowing out there, Johnny? Yeah,
The
I
new
mean,
5150 guitar, the pickup is the same one as every Wolfgang. It's the same pickup.
you know, there's some comments too on why isn't there a skunk stripe on the back of the, you know, on the back of the neck, you know, like on the 5150 or whatever. It's, again, it's really, EVH, Fender EVH is not going that crazy with these guitars. They're not looking at Ed's going, hey, we got to put a skunk stripe on this thing. It's not an exact replica. All they're concerned about is taking a body that's a Strat style body. They probably took some pictures of Ed's 5150 and said, okay, here's where we got to place the stripes. They came real close. They didn't nail any of the overspray. They didn't nail any of the mess ups or flaws or anything like that I could see. And they went into, you know, getting the, getting the right space tape and all that. And they probably said, okay, you know, we can't put a Strat headstock on this thing because it just isn't going to look like right. So let's see if we can get something close to what Ed's was. So they came up with a hockey stick style neck. But again, you know, the skunk stripe on the back of the neck is not important to them, just like it wasn't important to have the right route on the back of the cavity on the guitar, the control cavity. It's not that oval shaped, you know, one like this right here. Here's mine for my 5150. Here's the cavity cover. You're not going to see anything like that on the back of it because it's not important to them. They're just making a tribute style guitar. So you're going to see a different route on the back than you will like the 5150 control cover. So a skunk stripe, again, is not really that important to them. I shouldn't say it's not important to them. It's just they didn't go to that depth when they're making these things. The Circles guitar, it's the same thing. Okay, we need a Strat headstock and we need a Strat style body, but you didn't see them placing the, the volume jack backwards on like Ed's was. You didn't see him turn it upside down. You can do some of that stuff yourself, but again, you know, for your normal EVH fan, not your hardcore builders like guys like Dave and myself and, you know, Scott Smith and guys like that, you know, we want that exact replica. That's why we build these things. That's why we paint them, and then we're like, oh man, you know, that's wrong. We strip them and paint them again. Guys like Chris Hubbard and stuff like that, the guy that's doing my 5150 over for me right now. You know, that's important to me. That's precisely like Dave and I were talking. This new 5150 EVH Stripe Series, I think it's freaking amazing. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. And if I didn't have all these exact, well, I'd say exact, but these replicas that I try to have as exact as I can, yeah, I'd want one. But never in a million years would I trade my 5150 or get rid of mine for one of those, because it's just not. I want my 5150 relict and exact like Ed's was, right down to the yellow wire in the back. For the ground yep. Yellow wire. I want it exact. So I'm going to do everything I can to do that. These guitars were not meant for people like that. They're meant for people who want something like that that's close. And no matter what you do, even on, like Dave was saying, the $25,000 replicas, the Frankenstrat replicas, you know, those guitars are just phenomenal guitars. But there's still two things right off the bat that aren't right on those. The reflectors are wrong. They have the wrong reflectors. They're not the right prism reflectors, because those are incredibly hard to find. I'm lucky to have ones that I have on mine, Dave is, and they don't have the right tuners. They don't have crown head tuners on them. And again, those to come up with how many sets of those tuners, Dave? It's just impossible.
300, yeah.
It's going to be too hard to get them.
Yep. So
they'll use Schallers. So the only way you're going to have something exact is if you build it yourself.
And even then, it's not going to be exact.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, the headstock shape of the Musicraft is very close, but it's not exactly the 5150 guitar either. It's different.
It's different.
Nobody makes an exact replica. Even if you were to get it done by Paul Unkert, it's not going to be exact. He never did the same exact headstock twice. Just never.
Right.
You can't do it by eye. Just can't be done.
Yep.
It's you'll get close, and the Musicraft stuff is very close, but it's not exact.
Peter, wise man, Ralph. Peter, I don't know if you're being sarcastic with me or not. If you're being sarcastic with me, I agree with you. If you're being honest with me, I'm wise. You're mistaken. I don't give myself that much credit. But thank you, anyways.
Okay. All right, I'm back.
Really?
Man.
Come on, we were having fun without you here.
Oh man. Should I just leave?
Yeah. You can go back with the chickens for another 20 minutes.
It's pitch black out there, man. I couldn't see.
Did Howie like?
That happens at night.
Yeah. Even in California. Did Howie like it out there?
Oh yeah. Howie loves it. You mean in the chicken coop, or you mean down in L.A.?
L.A.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Howie,
the chicken coop.
Howie's actually from L.A. That's
One
where
and the same.
he's from. Howie was born in Los Angeles. So yeah, he has a great time down there. He went to the beach, walked around a lot, and it's cool every year. Like I had said this before. If you're in the right place at the right time, when I'm down there, you can meet Howie, and he got to meet a good friend down there this time when we were down there. So very, very cool.
Joe Wentz, those guitars will become available somewhere between May and July. Probably somewhere in June.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
5150 guitars are being built in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? If you look back, Dave and I were talking about this the other day. I was in the car driving home from work, and Dave and I were just chatting on the phone. And I mean, what, Johnny? Like, if you look back, 15 years, 12 years, probably 12, 15 years when people were like dying for, striped guitars, it's like we were all building our own, but I mean, we were all like, oh, I wish Van Halen would release something striped. You'd see the occasional Wolfgang come out, like when PV, when Ed went to PV in the 1996 NAMM show. Ed was backstage playing, and then he had a standard, PV built a standard striped 5150. I actually have the 96 NAMM show on.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's two of those guitars.
Yeah, and Hartley Peavy asked, or somebody asked Hartley Peavy, "Are you guys going to make these?" And Hartley Peavy was like, "Well, I remember it was something to the effect of, how many would you buy? If we make, and then but then Ed obviously at the time was not ready to release anything striped. It just wasn't his thing. He said that was my thing back in the day, and I don't know why anybody would ever want to play these. And who would have thought all those years ago, you go back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, we'd be, like having all this stripe stuff released and $25,000 Frankenstrats, which not really, guys like us can't really afford those. Or I'll speak for myself. But, like the EVH line, the Stripe series, I mean, who would have thought we would have had all this stuff? Flip-flops, beach towels, and, I mean, just all this crazy stuff. I mean, it's just incredible. And striped, EVH pedals. I mean, it's just like I'm surprised they haven't made the Makita drill yet, quite frankly, for the pound cake drill. Like, and I got one. But, I mean, I made it, who knows? You never know. Maybe they'll make a pound cake drill sometime. You never know. I mean, I'm always amazed when I see this stuff come out.
Maybe.
It's cool.
Yeah. Man, so many questions here.
Yeah. 5150 Fly Guy asks, what's the easiest way to switch the pickup selector? I guess on a special. The only way you can do it is to actually unsolder the wires on the inside and turn them around and resolder them. That switch is a side-by-side switch, and you can't turn the switch. It's not that type of switch where you can actually turn it. You have to take the wires out and turn them around and resolder them.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I heard was only the USA Wolfgangs have them backwards.
Correct.
All the other ones are all regular.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I guess they're supposed to be like that.
Mhm.
Right, Alex? Alex is in here. Alex.
Rosie, the 5150 guitar, the body is made out of poplar and the neck is maple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man, I don't know what you guys were talking about when I was gone, but man, Dave, that USA Wolfgang, man, that thing is a monster. That's a well, both of you guys have them. Dang.
Yeah.
Where have I been? Both of you guys, man. I'd never played one before, and I just played the one yesterday morning. Which, by the way, the brand new. They're calling it the Edward Van Halen signature guitar.
Nice.
Is what they're calling it. Alex, hang on. Excuse me.
Does anybody know what the price tag on the EVH Signature Stealth will be?
Yes, $3,300.
33.
Man.
Because I think that's one I would like. I'd love to get the Stealth. I got the USA Relic one. Well, it's basically got everything I need on it. It's the USA version, but I'd love to get the Stealth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's one solid guitar, man.
Yeah.
I had never played one before, and I played it yesterday, and I couldn't believe what a. I mean, it's great. I mean, of course, they're all great, but it's you pick it up and you can just tell it has
Yeah.
The mojo is built right into that thing, man.
That's cool.
And so so that guitar comes with the new Edward Van Halen signature model comes with the kill switch, comes with the eyelets, comes with the strap, and comes with the what do you call it? The strap, the hook onto the eyelets. The
Yes,
the
dog clasp.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Liquid Charlie went to the Fender factory the other day, and he played one. And the funny thing is, if you look at the video of him playing it, it's got black hardware. They're supposed to have all chrome hardware.
Yeah, I know
that one had black Floyd and black. It had a black Floyd on it, which it's not supposed to have. So someone either made a mistake or they don't have the chrome parts yet.
Yep.
Well, what was he playing a production model?
Yes, it had the eyelets. He had it had the
dude,
eyelets in it and the kill switch.
But dude, I've been there. I took that whole I said factory. I took that whole tour myself, and they have a lot of guitars there that are just like one-offs.
This was.
That have different configurations of stuff.
If you watch his video, it says it's the production model of the guitar. It's not a one-off. It's actual stealth guitar with the kill switch and the eyelets and everything, except it has black Floyd and black nut on it. It doesn't have chrome.
Black nut.
Black nut.
Yeah, but no, when I was at Fender, I can't tell you guys what I saw, but I do know that they have every kind of different configuration of, I saw Wolfgangs with just a neck pickup, I saw Wolfgangs with just in different, stages of
but this wasn't
development.
This wasn't from that room. This wasn't from the prototype room. This was an actual, from what he said, this was an actual model, a production model.
And it had the kill switch and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it was just one they just threw together, when they were testing the stuff.
Maybe.
Like
I said,
I bet that's what it is.
Yeah.
But so the Edward Van Halen signature Wolfgang, it comes in the stealth finish, and then in the like the finish that you guys have.
Yes, ivory. Yeah,
ivory.
And yes, 5150 Fly Guy. The pickup in the 5150 guitar is a Wolfgang bridge pickup.
What about the pickups in the new Edward Van Halen USA Wolf? What about that neck pickup?
The bridge pickup is the same as the old, is every other one. The neck pickup is an Alnico 3 which is a little bit lighter in the loafers than the Alnico 2, which is what was in there. It's a cleaner sounding pickup. It's not going to be as muddy sounding, and it's also the reason why they went with that, like I said a little earlier, is because if you have a Generation 1 100-watt 5153 head or a Stealth head, your clean green channel is a little dirtier than it is in the EL34. No matter what you do, it's going to be dirtier. So they cleaned up that neck pickup and made it a little bit brighter, a little bit less dirty, to clean it up, to make it sound a little, more chimey.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brian. Brian saying, well, Well, think there'll only be a Wolfgang USA because I can't see Fender being allowed to make products outside the US? Huh? But they do.
Yeah, I'm not understanding.
Maybe he's talking about, well, a USA model can only be made in the USA. That's why it's called USA. They can't make a USA model in Mexico unless they make one in New Mexico. Is that the US, Lynn?
New Mexico? Yes.
Isn't it the US?
Yes.
Well, if they make them in New Mexico, it'll still be a USA guitar.
What about Old Mexico?
Oh, no, that will not be a USA guitar in Old Mexico.
Brian Davies is trying to make a political statement, I think.
Okay. Born in the USA, eBay says. Oh, okay. I see that.
Yeah, I see it.
So what else? What else is there? There was the Bumblebee. Did we talk about that? There's a new Bumblebee special.
We don't have those right now here. It's bumblebees have hibernated or whatever. It's wintertime here.
Uh-huh. Oh, the real ones?
For real bumblebees.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, because a couple years ago, was it a couple years ago or was it a year ago? I think it was a couple years ago when they released the Bumblebee special, and it was a hardtail. A lot of people didn't agree with that. So this year there's a Bumblebee special with the Floyd, and it's cool. I played it. I actually have a video. I have a video of myself playing it. But the guy that filmed me he accidentally had his finger in the shot the entire time.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll still upload that video. I don't know. It's not up yet. That's the thing. I filmed a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff I filmed, and there's some stuff that I meant to put up, but probably won't put up. So, but there's always next year.
RMG asks, do you think the maple capped Wolfgangs sound different than the normal ones? RMG, they all have maple caps.
All of them?
All the USA ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about the ones made in New Mexico?
New Mexico?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's still USA though, right? Okay. I like New Mexico. It's a great place. I've been there. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna forget names. I know there was a guy named Dave. Halen's laughing. There was a guy named Dave. He filmed the video where I played the 5150 guitar. I think his name was Dave. He said he came up to me and he said he watches this. He said he watches this nonsense. I can't tell you how many people came up to me at that booth and said, "Hey, I watch your show." And I'm like, "Show? What are you talking about?" So it was cool. I really any of you guys, if you guys are watching this, I want to thank you again for watching this stuff, and it blows me away to meet people. This happens at Guitar Center, this happens at Van Halen concerts, believe it or not. People come up and they say they enjoy watching this stuff. Have either of you been approached in the street yet?
In my little town, Northfield? No, not really.
Go to a music store and see if anybody recognizes you guys.
There are people that I know that watch this show. I mean, people that I know, friends of mine.
Like me? I'm watching it right now. It's on right here. I'm looking at it. I see it.
I see you.
I see you in there. But Lynn, no, I wasn't able to make it to any of your crew. Only Larry. Larry was the only one I was able to see, and we actually talked for probably like half an hour. I introduced Larry to Philip McKnight, actually, and
Cool.
it was yeah. McKnight actually is a huge Larry Mitchell fan from way back when Larry was playing Ibanez, years ago, years and years and years ago. It was cool to. I should have filmed their discussion. Actually, they were talking to each other right in front of me. I should have just filmed that because it was cool. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Philip McKnight, he's a great guy. We finally met, and yes, he is much taller than me. Everybody is. Larry Mitchell is probably like 5 Johnnies stacked up.
He's not that.
Yeah, he is. Either he's that tall or I'm that short.
You are that short.
He's like, way up there. But also, yeah, there were several people that came up and wanted photo. I took pictures with. Some of them didn't tell me their names or anything, but one guy did. One guy told me his name, and he said he watches. And I have a. Should I show this on here? Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't want people seeing what he looks like. But who do you think that is, Dave? I told you there was somebody that came up to me, and he said he watches, and I recognize the name in the chat box. Maybe you're in here. I was there at the EVH booth, and you came up.
Oh, could it have been Jaden James?
When F-U-Tone came up, and I posed for a photo with him, you were there.
Was it Jaden James?
That sounds familiar. It's either that or it was Jimbo Jones.
Jimbo Jones. I don't know who this is.
That's the guy from the Simpsons, isn't it? Jimbo Jones. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's Jimbo Jones. Maybe it's Jaden James.
RMG, the 5150 guitar does not have a maple cap. It's basswood. That body, the new guitar is basswood.
The original is poplar.
Yeah. I have a picture of me and Jaden James right here. I'm not going to show it unless he says it's okay.
David Allen Wright. Go ahead, John.
So hey, is it Jaden James? If it is you that I met, let me know if I can post the selfie of us, and I'll post it.
David Allen Wright asked, what do we think of Dive Bomb necks? I'm sure he's talking about Kyle Finch's old necks. He was the guy that made Dive Bomb. I mean, I don't know if I haven't. I see Kyle on Facebook once in a while, but I don't know if he's still doing those. I don't think he is. But I used to know Kyle really well years ago. And I've had a couple of his necks. As a matter of fact, Dave, that Kramer ad neck that I sent you, or actually brought you that last time, that's a Kyle Finch Dive Bomb neck. And oh, wait a minute, hold on, is it?
No,
yeah,
the beak neck?
No, I'm sorry, that's a Scott Smith neck. I had one that was a Kyle Finch neck. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I've always been happy with his necks. I had one of his necks that had a back bow to it. I think it was an older neck, though, and he had indicated to me that one was just a spare he had laying around. But any neck that I used to get from Kyle, I always had good luck with them. I always had, good stuff with them. Matter of fact, my Shark guitar, my Destroyer, is a Kyle Finch neck through body, and I just
I've never played one, so I don't have a comment. I've never tried one.
I used to play a lot of his stuff. I used to get a lot of parts from him back in the day. It was good stuff. I never had a problem with it. there was some. He started having some business issues towards the later part. I won't get into that, but I just say the stuff that I had from him, I always had good luck with. I always got lucky with it, or no problems.
RMG asks, why wouldn't Eddie want a maple capped 5150 if he likes it on the Wolfgang? I don't know, man. I'll ask him next time I see him.
Well, hey, you better come to NAMM next year, then. I think. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't think I have to wait that long, and I'll just wait. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. What else? So what? So we talked about the new Wolfgangs. We talked about the 5150 guitar, which I can never get sick of talking about. I could talk about that guitar all day long if you guys want. All day. I think some of you guys had questions. I've been on Instagram. I've been getting questions just like nonstop, and I was going to wait to address all that stuff on here. But what's like some of the basic? What's a basic question about that guitar you can ask that I can try to answer? Like Rob, do you have any questions about that guitar?
I do.
Go ahead, Dave.
What's the output jack look like?
It just looks like, I think, just a regular. Well, let's see.
It's not like an old Kramer, right? It looks like a Charvel, but in a different spot, like the one on your Circles guitar.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh wow. This is weird. Yeah. It looks like just a regular what do you call it? The jack with the
square metal plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
There it is. That's it.
That's actually much better jack than the one that was on the old Kramers.
Right. Yeah. What do they call those, Dave? The old
barrel jacks.
Yes, barrel jacks. The old
Cannon.
Those things break every 6 months. Those things break.
Yep. They broke on mine. I had to replace mine on my 5150.
RMG, I was just kidding. I honestly, you got to understand I'm from New York, and maybe sometimes I sound abrasive, but I really didn't mean anything by my remark. That was just me kidding with you.
Somebody asked Dave and I a question a few minutes ago. It's already gone, but we didn't get a chance to answer it. They asked Dave and I what we think of the Ed Roman 5150 kits.
I didn't see that question.
Yeah,
I've never tried one. I didn't think they looked very good, but I'm sure they were good. It was good material because Ed Roman built good guitars.
Yeah.
But the graphic, I didn't think looked great.
Right. I've had some Ed Roman gear over the years, and I agree with Dave. I was never a big fan of the actual look of the shapes of the headstocks and the bodies because to me they didn't look right. But as far as playability and quality wise, I think the stuff was good.
Yeah, I never played those guitars. Never seen one in person or whatever. Excuse me. See, I'm sick. I'm not feeling good.
He's got the Joe Wentz project.
I've got the Joe Wentz. I've got the yeah. Oh, now he has it too, man. He put that sweatshirt on immediately. Just kidding, Joe. What do you got there? Pretzels?
What?
Pretzels?
No pretzels. Just a stress toy. Tad Freak asked if I had used my stress toy, and I have it right here. I actually have it right here. Stress toy.
Where's mine at? I've got that too. They sent that to me as well. Mine's somewhere.
I got my stress toy right here. Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go. What was I saying? Oh, the Ed Roman stuff. I've never seen the stuff, although when I first, that sounds like a bag of Sun Chips.
It's a bag of stuff, all cool stuff.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at all that stuff. No, when I first jumped on the internet, one of the first things when you search for this stuff, one of the first things that always came up was the Ed Roman, was all his Van Halen guitars.
Right.
You would see them, you know. He's like, oh, well, you know, we've got these, and it would show like necks and bodies and all this stuff. We can make you this and that, and you know. But I do remember some of the graphics and some of, let's say, like the space tape was maybe a little big. It was like an oversized 5150 or whatever, and you know, they didn't look, you know, exactly like the actual guitar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, again, you know, you can't, you know, you can't build those guitars. You can't sell those guitars. You know. So
Yeah, you're right.
Although
Van
maybe-
Hollander asks, quick question: are the Floyds on the new Signature USA the EVH Floyd or an original Floyd with a D-tuner added? They are all EVH branded Floyds. They're the F1000.
Yes.
And people will ask, why is there a Korean Floyd Rose on my USA made guitar? There, for some reason, it's different metal. It's a different metal than you'll find on the Made in Mexico or, you know, the special guitars. It's a different grade of metal. It's still an F1000. It's just a different grade, and it's a little bit better.
Joe Wentz, I just tried to send you a video, but it didn't go through. My video is too long. I'll just say you will eventually see some videos of me playing. I will. I'll put some stuff up. The video I was going to send you was me playing Summer Nights on my Steinberger, but it's for some reason the video is too long, so I have to crop it. Either that, or I'll just send it to you on Facebook.
Excuse me. Yeah. Van Highlander is asking, how many times has Ed said, this is exactly what I use? I wonder if finally, after all this time, it's really true, Van Highlander is asking us. Well, truthfully, everything, echo. Everything, echo. Every time I hear an echo, I'm just going to say echo. Even though everybody knows. But I say that to let the guy who's it's coming from know that. That's why I'm doing that.
Dave.
Not me.
The guy, I think it's the guy with the beats, I think. Van Hollander, everything Edward has ever put out, Music Man, PV, EVH Gear, no matter what it is, he uses all of it. Yep. You know? And yes, he does have a stage guitar that, you know, here and there will be a little different than you know, something you can get in the store here and there. But nobody abuses the stuff like he does. You know? His stuff has to be bulletproof. You know?
Yep.
But he uses everything. And that's not even just his own stuff. He you know, he uses every kind of guitar, amp, pedal, whatever there is. You know, if there's something out there, I guarantee you he has it and he's tried it, and probably uses it.
I agree. I mean, come on, he's used the Parker Fly for goodness sakes.
Those are cool, man.
Yeah, they're great guitars.
Compared to what?
Compared to what?
Yeah,
Well,
compared to what?
I mean, they're so light.
Those
things.
Those are toys. They're expensive toys. Is what those are.
Well, I liked it. I remember playing one at Guitar Center. You know, back after him and Sammy did the bridge benefit out here. I remember right after they did that, and I saw the photo of him playing it. I went to Guitar Center and tried one, and I thought it was cool. I would love to have one.
Yeah.
I would love to have one of those.
RMG, the F1000 is not made in America. It's made in Korea.
Korea.
It's not the same Floyd Rose as a German Floyd. They're made in Korea. There are a couple different versions of it, but they're all called the F1000. Depends on what guitar you have.
Hey, Dan. Dan says he's always evolving. That's true. And hey, Dan, good to see you in here, man. Dan's awesome. Yeah. Edward, he uses everything. And just because you see, a picture of him on stage playing, this guitar, that guitar, or whatever, that's not the only guitar he uses.
Matter of fact, there's people out there that I know real well that say he still uses this guitar. He still has this close by. He still plays from time to time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not just. I mean, the thing is, when you live in a recording studio, which basically that's what he does, you're always, every instrument, every guitar, every piece of gear Edward has ever used, he's used for a purpose, and he uses them. He looks at guitars as tools, He just looks at it as a way of getting the next greatest sound out of it. That's, I really think I really think that's all he cares about is getting a certain sound, a certain performance out of something.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan. What was that? Yo, Dan, how you doing, man? Dan, we should get you in here on one of these things sometime, man. It'd be great to talk to you. Yeah, Dan has a lot of cool stuff, man. That guitar you just held up, Dan has one of those.
Yep.
Awesome. The way you have to look at it, I mean, if you have a bunch of guitars, say just take for instance, I mean, I have a bunch of guitars here.
No.
I play them all. I don't just stop playing them after a while. I play every guitar I own. If you got it, play it. And that's the thing with Eddie is, just because it's not the thing he's endorsing at the moment, that doesn't mean he's not playing everything he's got.
Right.
But yeah, that's true. But I was talking as far as if you live in a recording studio, you're always recording, and every guitar he has for a purpose, for a certain sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I've always looked at my guitars. I've always looked at them as, how can I get a certain sound out of this guitar, or this guitar has a sound that this one doesn't, even though these two look identical, they sound different, or they feel different, or there's something different about them that makes it that's why I would use this one over that one on this track or the solo or whatever.
Yeah. Chris Hubbard says, do you think the new EVH Banana opens the door for 1984 Hot for Teacher and Kramer Ad Stripe series tributes? I'm going to say and this is my opinion, but I don't think so, because although Ed used them for a little bit of time, they were not as iconic as the 5150 guitar. The 5150 guitar, to a lot of people, is even more iconic than the Frankenstein, because a lot of today's fans started watching and listening to Van Halen in the mid '80s when Eddie was using that guitar. So, then they went back and noticed that he used this other Strat style guitar that was beat up. People know him, they know him because of the 5150.
Yeah, and that's thanks to Live Without a Net.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think since that was an iconic guitar for Eddie, that's probably where that's going to end. I don't think they're going to do the other striping schemes, especially on guitars that he hasn't kept.
I
Interesting.
agree. Yeah, and MG, RMG. Why did Eddie go from Music Man to PV to Fender? Well, I mean, there's some drama that people will talk about, but forgetting about all the drama because that's nothing more than hearsay. He went with Music Man initially because that was his first. That was his first, signature guitar, and Music Man was a local company at the time. I remember hearing Eddie say they were just down in San Obispo, California, and
Louis Obispo.
Oh, Louis Obispo, yeah. Wait, hold on.
It's just down the street
Yes,
from me, man.
San Luis Obispo. Yes, it says it right here on the back of my neck. Yeah,
That's literally just down the street from me, believe it or not.
yeah, that's right. Johnny said that.
Right here on the ocean.
It was a different time. Eddie wanted something different. He didn't want the striped guitars, and he had a lot to say about this guitar. He was able to pick out the pickups and the Floyd, and he chose the body shape right down even to having a single knob that says tone. The neck profile was basically a copy of his 5150 Kramer, and it was his first signature guitar, and it did everything that he wanted it to do from 1990 to 1991 to basically 1995, 96. And, from what I can understand, he went to Petey because it was the next logical choice. He was ready for Mott 2 Music Man. This was the mother of the EVH guitars, really. If you look at it, this was the first signature guitar that Eddie had, and some people say this is still the best one out there. I mean, I love the Music Mans, but Peavey was making the 5150 amps, and Music Man wasn't cranking out enough of these guitars. They were back ordered for a year, and they only built something like what 22, like 1,000 a year or something like that, or whatever it was. I mean, 1,500 a year.
What did he say?
Said 200 a month or 250 a month.
Yeah. So he went to Peavey.
I think he said 1,000 in a year they made.
Yeah, that's about.
I've got the MTV clip.
Yep. And then Peavey was the next logical choice, and he stayed with Peavey from 1996 all the way up to 2004, and then by that time, there was Ed was ready for another change, and it was time to come out with his own style, his own brand, and Fender was right there,
Yeah, I believe they started. I think they started working on the new Wolfgang. I think in 2005 ish. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, and RMG says I didn't realize PV made his amps at the same time Music Man made the guitars. Yeah, I mean, in the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge tour and the Balance tour, Eddie was playing PV 5150 amps with the Music Man guitars.
So which wasn't? I know this. I guess this relates to NAMM. I guess. Which excuse me. Was he with PV first, working on the amps, and then hooked up with Music Man on the guitar?
I don't think so. I think the guitar was first, because on the Carnal Knowledge record, that's mostly a Soldano amp.
Right. And matter of fact, the 1990 Cabo Wabo gig they did, Ed plays a red Music Man. He's playing through a Soldano in the background. Yeah.
Killer Chimp, they are released. They already have their version of the Music Man guitars. It's called the Wolfgang. It's an incarnation of that guitar. So that's it.
Yep.
Music Man owns the body shape of that Ernie Ball guitar. There's no way Eddie can use that body shape. Music Man owns that shape.
Right.
That's
that's
why it didn't stay with Eddie. That's why the guitars look a little different.
Right.
But it's the same guitar.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they still use that shape today with the there was the OLP for many years. What is that, officially licensed product?
Yeah, well, that Music Man is still doing it. The Axis, and they're still absolutely
they've been doing that for years and years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a Music Man and a PV and you stick them right next to each other, I mean, the body shape of the PV looks very, very similar to the EVH Wolfgangs. But I mean, I'm looking at my Music Man and my PV Wolfgang right next to each other, and they literally look like, brother and sister, or I mean, they literally look like twins. I mean, you know, the arch top on the PV was an upgrade. They cut out the top horn a little bit more and flipped the toggle switch, and you know, I mean, they're so similar. The necks are very different, in my opinion, but as far as width and all that, we've talked about that. But I mean, they're so close. I mean, you can definitely see how the Wolfgang, the PV Wolfgang, was the next logic. I mean, it was the evolution of that Music Man guitar. You know, it's just so similar, but also very different. You know.
Right. RMG asks, is that the reason why Gibson can't make a Kramer 5150? RMG, I don't think you're understanding. They do make the 5150, or they were. It's just without the striping job. They cannot make the 5150 striping because Eddie Van Halen owns the trademark to the striping patterns.
Right.
No one else can make a striped guitar without getting sued by Eddie Van Halen. He owns that. He owns the stripes. So the 1984 or the Music Yo Gibson Kramer Beretta thing, that is, for all intents and purposes, that's the same guitar as the 5150, made by Kramer, made by Gibson. But they cannot make a full-on 5150 because Eddie Van Halen owns the stripes.
Right. The furthest they went, I remember when I got my first, my first 1984 Music Yo, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever it was. I remember when I got my first one. At the time, they actually offered the guitar in primer white. It was just primed white.
Exactly. So that you can do it yourself.
Right. They had it all set up. All you had to do was the painting yourself. That's as far as they could go, like Dave said. They would even offer it in primer white, or the gloss white or the red or the black or whatever color, the target, the bullseye, stripe. But yeah, they're kind of neat. That's as far as they could go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of people painting those. Everybody would get the white one so they could paint them,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
Those are cool guitars. I mean, they did a big for the time. I mean, there was some differences. The headstocks weren't perfect, but I mean, those are pretty cool. They did a good job. For the most part. I mean, as a matter of fact.
Well, no one was complaining about that.
Huh?
Right? Did you complain about that headstock back then?
No, I thought it was cool, but it was definitely bigger. It was bigger than the originals.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I forgot all about it. This my 1984 Kramer. I actually did. This is actually a Music Yo guitar, and I mean, the headstock is not. It's a little, like Dave said, it's a little bit bigger, but it fits the 84 original one pretty cool. But yeah, this is an actual Kramer 1984 guitar. And I actually used this guitar because it was called the 1984 Kramer, because the neck plate says 84 Kramer, and it's the 1984 stripe guitar. So I'm like, I'm going to use that for this guitar. So it's kind of cool, And these are great guitars. They really are cool guitars.
I remember those things.
Yeah. I did a little mod. I mean, mine has a black Floyd on it. I put black hardware and black and original Floyd, but
right. Ryan M asks, do you think EVH will ever release a solid color without stripes, Strat style guitar? No, I don't think he will.
I mean, why would he? Actually,
I think if it's going to be a Strat style body, it's going to be a Stripe series guitar. He never really played a guitar without stripes, unless it was the very, very early 1975, 1976, when the Frankenstein was either wood colored, just the wood grain, or when it was painted black. But that's the only time. That's the only time, really, ever.
Yeah. Somebody asked a question a while back, and we just missed it, and I can't remember who it was. Whoever it was, you can just mention your name or whatever. They said they see that Eddie had recently had his Steinberger GL2T trans trim refurbished, and they said, do you think he's recording with the guitar, and why did he have it refurbished and have Jeff Babbitt's work on it? I mean, I don't know if he's recording with the guitar. I'd like to think that he's playing the guitar and messing around with it
Well,
again? I mean,
he said it himself. He said it himself in one of the latest interviews. Well, I guess it was last year in an interview that people wanted to see him play that guitar again. So he wanted to get it in playing shape so the crowd can see him play it again. That was his words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So definitely he's not going to have the thing fixed and worked on if he's not going to touch it. So yeah, that's cool. I'd love to see him play that guitar again. Rip out Summer Nights or whatever, That's cool guitar. It's fun guitar to play. I love mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't.
Just imagine all the material that he wrote with that guitar that we haven't heard.
Yeah, we haven't even heard yet. Yeah.
Just imagine the what? Me-Wise Magic was a trans tram, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine all the other riffs that he wrote with that thing that we have yet to hear,
Yeah.
I have an interview, Dave, speaking of interviews here, and maybe just think of something else. I mean, I have an interview where Ed's talking about, when he first picked up that guitar, when Ned Steinberger, actually devised that trans trim, and then, Ed took a look at it and he was actually playing with it. A lot of people don't realize before, right when Ed was leaving Kramer, right before he went with Music Man, he was this close to having the deal with Steinberger. Steinberger was almost going to seal the deal with Ed before Music Man did, after Kramer. And it didn't pan out because ultimately Ed he didn't want to continue on with that body style. He wanted something different, but they could have done something different, but Ed just chose to go with Music Man. But anyways, he was talking about the trans trim, and he said, when Ned first heard him play that guitar, and people from Steinberger, they were just like blown away. Like they'd never heard anybody use the bar that way and be able to, progress all the way up to the different, the different steps, locking the bar up and just doing the, noodling around with it the way that he did. And it was just amazing. Nobody had ever heard anybody manipulate the bridge the way that he was doing that, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So like what Johnny just said, the stuff that he's probably recorded with one of those things, whether it was that actual GL2T or, the PV the PV trans trim, like the one Hubs just built. I mean, there's got to be crazy stuff. I mean, when Ed was writing Fire in the Hole and doing all that stuff with the bar, there's probably some incredible stuff. If you guys remember the '96 garage band jam with
sure, City of Hope.
Etheridge. Yeah, City of Hope benefit. Yeah.
I just drove past there the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
There was some cool riffage Ed was doing. He had two guitars with him that night. They're both cream PV Wolfgangs. One was a PV Standard, and the other was the PV white Fire in the Hole trans trim guitar, like the one Hubs just built. And one of the songs they were doing, I don't know if I think Melissa Etheridge was singing or whatever. Just listening to what he's doing on the bar, he's just doing some really cool stuff, and it's all very melodic too. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember I taped that show off. It was VH1, I think.
Yep. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was Paul Schaefer. Paul Schaefer hosted it, and then he was the band leader for that. And
yeah,
I remember watching that when VH1 originally aired it.
Yeah, I had that. I wore that VHS tape out.
I should actually watch that again.
He used a 212. He used a 212 PV combo, PV 5150 combo for that too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, him and Richie Sambora were playing right next to each other. They were bouncing off of each other the whole time, having a ball. Ed and Richie.
And they did not like each other.
I never knew that. Did I really? I always thought they liked each other. Really, I didn't know that.
Eddie always complained that Richie Sambora was too loud.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
At that one particular show, you mean?
That one. There was another Kramer. There was a Kramer one. I want to say 85 or 86 NAMM show, one of those two, where they both played together, and Eddie either walked off the stage or he complained that Sambora was just completely too loud. It was just a mess.
No, that would have been late 80s. That would have been maybe 86, 87.
Yeah.
or 88. It could have been 87, 86, 87, 88 somewhere. It would have been probably maybe 87 or 88. I'm thinking with Bon Jovi.
Maybe you're right. Probably
With
87.
Bon
Because
Jovi with their
that's
Slippery When Wet. It would be
Yep.
87 or 88 somewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a NAMM show from '87 where Ed's playing with. I think he's playing with. I think Billy Idol was there too. I think.
With Steve Stevens, that was 85.
Okay.
No. That was 87.
Really short hair, black, and he was wearing a black.
Because he had the rat tail.
beater?
He had the rat tail. That was right
Was
after.
that 87?
That was after 5150 tour. Yeah, it was 87.
Okay.
See, look, we're nerds.
Yeah, I know. Johnny, you and I were talking a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the Detroit 5150 show where like Ed threw his Kramer or fell out.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. That was just a week ago, man.
I was sick that night. I was listening, but I wasn't on the show.
Johnny's like,
that
yeah,
was
we're
just a
wicked
week ago.
nerds. It's like,
Yeah, well, look at us. We're nerds. We admit it. If you're watching us, we're not saying that you're nerds, but we're saying that we're nerds. We're all nerds.
yeah, you guys aren't nerds for watching us be nerds.
We love this stuff. We love talking about this stuff, man. It's great.
They're all nerds.
We have a lot of fun.
Sorry. Just calling a spade a spade. They're all nerds. If we're nerds, then they are. Especially they are because they're.
Dave said that. That's Dave. that said
Come
that.
on.
Dave said it.
Yes, I said it.
We should probably get back to NAMM chat though, real quickly because we're closing in on like 2 hours here. Van Highlander was saying, "Hey Johnny, does the LBX2 have enough gain in the blue channel?" Yeah, I believe the blue channel is like I'm saying, it should be a purple channel because it's a combination of red and blue together.
Nice.
It's hotter than the regular blue channel.
It's hotter than an actual blue, like on a regular 5150.
I think so. McKnight picked it up, and I believe that's what Matthew said the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, what else? Man,
I don't know. What else did you see that was cool at NAMM? I mean,
we could just finally, almost 2 hours into this video, now we'll start talking about that. Well, hey, we've had like 50 people sitting here the whole time watching this, so we really appreciate this, you guys. Oh, if you guys dig this stuff, leave a thumbs up. If you're new to this stuff, I think we've probably got a lot of new people sitting here looking at us because of the NAMM show. And if you guys dig this conversation that we're having, we do this 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at this time. We love talking about. We talk about all things. Eddie guitar. The gear in general, the Kramers, the music bands, the PVs, everything he's ever used. We talk about, but we love the EVH GEAR products. We all use them. We all have. Look at that. I've got an EVH GEAR Wolfgang neck on my couch. Taking a nap right now. We all use the stuff.
Yeah.
And we love it. And so any questions you guys have with any of the new especially now with NAMM 2017 with the new guitars, the new amps, whatever, you can always come here and ask us. And Dave and Ron Rob
him too.
Yeah, we love our EVH gear. We love our EVH gear. We really do.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if anybody knows where I can get an ebony neck with stainless frets, I'm gonna do what Hubs did. I want to put that on this guitar, and I'm gonna put a kill switch on it too. So keep your eyes open, guys. Ebony neck, EVH neck.
Remind me to talk to you, Rob. Remind me to talk to you about that. After
I know where they're going to be available from, but
then just wait because that'll have a tilted back headstock.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well then
I have a photo, and I have a photo to show you.
Okay, cool. I have a question, Dave.
Dave always has a photo to show.
Here's something that comes up all the
photo.
time. what are the size? And Dave, I'm going to ask you because you know the size. What are the size of the actual eyelets?
Number 6, large.
Number 6, large. Hear that, guys? Because I didn't know. I know
when Dave rolls through Burger King, when he rolls through the drive-through, number 6, large.
Really
and then they
funny.
give him the burger, and he's like, "Hey, where are my eyelets?" What?
He's used to saying that.
Number 6, large.
That's what they are.
yeah.
Oh, and see, we like to laugh on this show too. So we're not robots.
No, it's way out too.
Oh.
Stellmore, no, the 5150 does not come with stainless frets. They are large nickel silver frets.
Are they number 6?
Large. Johnny.
Yeah, they're the regular. Yeah, they're not stainless steel. No, those are only available on the USA Wolfgangs currently. I believe that's all they're available on. If you dig back and you get a Chinese Wolfgang or a Japanese Wolfgang, those have stainless steel frets on them. Correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything else, the standards and the Mexican specials, and all the Stripe series, they all have the regular frets.
Regular.
Yeah.
I'll take the regular. Make it a large.
Number 6, large.
Diet Coke, please.
I'll take the large one, but make it a regular.
That's funny.
You guys.
You guys, you're out of order just a little bit.
Home Depot. 5150 Fly Guys in Home Depot.
Yeah, any hardware store. Ace.
Abishans.
Onesie twosies.
Let's see. Maybe we should try to wind down. Although I don't know. We've had 50 people here for like an hour watching us. It's been consistent.
Oh, so we should go another hour?
We should. Well.
Do you guys prefer stainless versus nickel frets? I mean, I don't know. I like the stainless frets. I think they're real. I mean, they're really robust and they're rugged, and you really don't have to ever worry about having to refret the thing because they're just amazingly strong. But I like the I kind of like the resonance, how the strings resonate off of the stainless frets too. What do you think, Dave?
I like them both for different reasons. You know, if you're, I like the vintage style stainless frets a little bit better than a vintage nickel silver fret because they're smoother, and you don't, you know, they're easy. The stainless frets are easier to play. So if you're going to have a small fret, I'd rather have a stainless fret in a small fret. But jumbo frets, I mean, I have you know 35, 40 guitars here with jumbo nickel silver frets, and they feel great. And you know, I think if you have a lot of guitars to play, you don't have to really worry about refretting your guitars because you know, if you're not playing one guitar 10 hours a day every day.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes. Huh?
Tat Girl wants us to stay on for a while.
Okay. Well, we can stay on for a little while, until Howie needs his W. No, somebody's saying BC Johnny Lowell won't talk about his view of the demo. Huh?
Because Johnny won't.
Johnny, did it? Should it? What?
What?
What are you saying?
He said, "Great show."
Tat Girl says, everyone in the chat room give this video the thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the thumbs ups. I mean, that really shows us that you guys, you dig watching this stuff. You know? And, you know, we're just sitting here just talking to each other. That's all we're doing. You know. What was I going to say though? But yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, we should. We're closing in on 2 hours. Well, let's. What else can we talk about about the NAMM, about the EVH stuff, and then what else did I see there? I saw so much stuff. I know you guys want to hear about who I saw too.
Yeah.
I saw one guy that I saw who I'd never seen before, which I thought was pretty cool. Although I don't get starstruck. For me, I don't know. It doesn't happen anymore. It's exciting, you know, but it's not like I'm gonna pass out because Captain Kangaroo walked by or whatever, you know.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, or Mr. Rogers. Lynn, I didn't see Stevie Wonder this year. No. I saw him the past couple years though. Although, yeah, yeah. I think we were talking about this. When you see a guy like that, somebody that's just a total just icon, a musical, you know,
guru,
somebody you would never expect to ever see, unless you went to one of their shows or something, you know. Stevie Wonder, yeah, I've seen him a couple times, and that's cool. And again, I'm not starstruck, you know. It's cool. It's cool. But one guy that I saw this year, my friend Mike and I, Gutierrez, we were walking around and we saw a bunch of people in line for this one signing at this one booth. I can't think of what it was. It must have been Ibanez. It had to have been Ibanez. But Mike says, "Oh, look, there's Steve Vai." And so we look over and yeah, there he is, sitting right there.
Cool.
And I didn't take any pictures of him. I guess I should have. My friend Mike took a picture of him, but I didn't get in line. I didn't get in line to get his autograph or anything, but that was pretty cool though, because yeah, you know, I grew up on Steve Vai, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who else did I see? I saw a lot of like Facebook friends. Some of them I was able to catch and say, hey, you know, and actually talk to them or say hi at least. Some of them I wasn't able to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know, in a sea of people, somebody walks by and you see them, and it takes a second to say, oh, that was so and so. By the time you turn around, you can't get to them because of how crowded the crowds. In particular, there was somebody. I mean, I know she doesn't watch these things, but somebody, she sings in a Queen cover band. They're all females, and they play Queen material. They're from here in the Bay Area, and she's the singer. I saw her. She just walked by, and I know her from Facebook. So, but who else? I saw Ronnie North, although I just saw him run by, so I didn't actually talk to him. But I saw him like dash by me, Ronnie North. So Ronnie, if you happen to see this, I saw you. We can't have that in here. You have to delete this video, apparently.
Well,
Google gets very mad. Is that the ringtone? No, actually, that's not it. That's fine. That's fine. There's a Google ringtone where they actually get on you, and I got busted for having that in one of these one time. Who else? Let me just tell you guys who I saw.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Who else did I see?
I love Dave's avatar. His face with his 5150 guitar.
He looks sad.
He does.
He looks sad in that, and I've said that to him. I'm like, dude, you should change that. You look sad in that photo.
I know. It's so funny.
Although I think that's like a puppy dog face or something.
Yeah, I think it is. It's his brandy.
He's like a sad puppy dog in that.
His brandy face.
Who else did I see at NAMM?
See Michael Anthony?
I did.
Yeah.
I saw him twice.
Yeah. Nice.
I saw him twice actually. Yeah. I talked to him a couple times.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, this is the thing. Most, if you want to say celebrities, if you go up to a celebrity most of the time and you ask them about somebody else, generally they get mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Mike, how's Eddie?
Back in 1992, I met Billy Sheehan. And the only thing I said to him, this is in 1992, Van Halen was going to be in town like a month later. And I met Billy Sheehan, and I'm like, hey, Billy, can you get me backstage at Van Halen? That's what I said to him.
That's
and
awesome.
he's like, no, sorry, I can't do it. It's a different organization. You know, I remember him saying that.
Can you? I can't believe that you even said something like that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So that's what I said to him. I said, can you get me backstage at Van Halen? And he's like, no, I can't. You know, and that was in 1992. I've met him several times since. I actually met him 2 nights ago. I saw him 2 nights ago. I talked to him. He came. I was outside with these 2 friends of mine at the Hilton. We were standing outside waiting for Howie to pick me up, and my friend says, "Is that Billy Sheehan?" And Billy Sheehan comes walking up, and he goes, and he's going to walk in. He was going to walk in, and this other friend of mine and me were like, "Billy, come here, come here." And he was kind of hesitant, you know, but finally he came over to us, and we're like, "Billy, come here." And by the time he got to us,
How's Eddie doing?
what did I say?
Yeah, remember when I asked you if you can get me backstage to Van Halen? Well,
what did I say?
Anyway.
I don't think I even said anything to him. I think he got to me, and I think I'm just like, hi, and then he laughed. It wasn't. It was funny. I guess you had to have been there. It was a fun night. But so that's, I saw him. I saw Billy Sheehan. There you go.
Sammy? Was Sammy there?
No, Sammy. No, he wasn't.
I don't think he goes to those things.
No, he does. He does. I've never seen him at one of those though, but he does. Oh, Michael Anthony. You were saying. Oh, here we go. So yeah, here. That's what I was going to say. So I saw him. I waited. I was in line to see Michael Anthony, and actually there was a huge line. I got to. He was in line. He was at Peavey. And there was like a huge line to see Michael Anthony. And so I go walking up, and because of the line, I wasn't really expecting to talk to him or anything, or to be in the line, you know, or whatever. But I just happened to be walking up towards the PV, you know, the area. And wouldn't you know it, second in line are these 2 friends of mine. So they're like, Johnny, come here. So I was like 3rd in line for Michael Anthony because I just cut in line with these friends, right? So
you must have been a ball at the PV booth. People must have been cursing.
Oh, here's my point to this whole story. Here's my whole point to this. I got to Michael Anthony, and when I got to him, I took a selfie of us, and I asked him where somebody else was, a mutual friend of ours. I'm like, hey, is so and so here? And he was like, yeah, he's floating around, but he didn't get mad because, you know, Michael Anthony, he's not you don't see him get mad, you know.
Yeah, because you didn't ask him, hey, are you talking to Eddie Van Halen?
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. So anyway, so yeah, so that was my thing to Michael Anthony. I said, hey, is so and so here? Because we have a mutual friend who works for him, and he's like, yeah, he's floating around. So I'm like, cool, all right, awesome.
Kevin Dugan there?
So, yeah. Dugan was there. Yep. And then I saw Michael later. Oh, here's the thing: the guy that I wanted to meet up with, that I asked Michael if this guy was there, Michael was signing at Schecter a few hours later, and the guy who I wanted to meet up with, this mutual friend of ours, was there, and he came out and he was talking to me and Mike. We were talking, and then we went in, and that's when I saw Michael again. And my friend was there, and we talked, and we were actually gonna, my friend and I, we were gonna meet up at the EVH booth later, but he had to cancel because his ride was taken off. Yeah. Michael was cool. Who's calling me?
That's the
ringtone. That's the ringtone. That can't be.
Now it definitely.
Now this video is getting deleted. Yeah. This can be. Let me just answer this real quick because this might be for this. Maybe.
You have just won a cruise.
Is somebody calling me on this? Okay, they're going to voicemail because I don't know if that has to do with this or not. Did somebody named That's so funny. Did somebody named Ed just call me from this?
Eddie Van Halen.
They said Ed. If you did, let me know in the chat box or call back, or I'll see the transcript of the.
Imagine if it was Ed Van Halen.
That would be so cool.
That would be so funny. Yeah. Who's this?
Eddie Van Halen.
Look, is this for this?
Yeah. Well, you never
So
know.
funny.
Never know. But what was I? So what was I? Man, what was I saying? What was the last thing I said?
You were talking about your buddy at the Mike Anthony booth.
Man, oh, here it is. This is pretty cool. At the Schecter booth, Mike was there. Mike was there. His whole family was sitting there next to him.
Nice.
His daughter, his granddaughter. Did she have a daughter? His granddaughter, his wife. They were all sitting right there at the Schecter booth. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that shows you, I mean, what rock star is going to have his family there sitting next to him, You know what I mean? That shows you he's a normal guy. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. Echo. Okay, here it is. Hey, Johnny, my name is Eddie. I saw you. Okay, this is different. No, it's not the Eddie you guys are thinking about. It's somebody else. Okay, that's not for this. Okay, that's something different. Oh, that's funny.
That is funny.
Johnny, did you go see the new 24-fret Gibson? I went into the Gibson room, but I didn't stay long. That room just isn't very... There's something about the Gibson room that isn't... It's very dark in there. And everybody in there is jamming. The way they have it set up is you can try like every guitar. Like you walk in and there's a table in the middle of the room with every guitar with like a headphone amp, and you can just jam. And it's the Gibson room was never. I don't know. It's not
Very Guitar Center like.
Yeah, it's like a dark Guitar Center. It's like a Guitar Center with their lights down low, is what it is. But speaking of that, I don't recall seeing any Kramer stuff in there at all this year. I looked. I actually looked. I'm not sure if they still do the Kramer thing. I know we kind of talked the other day about how I saw a conversation on Facebook of people talking about how Gibson wasn't doing Kramer anymore. I can't say if that's true or not. That's just a conversation I was looking at. But I didn't see any Kramer stuff in the Gibson room. Maybe it was there, but it was too dark.
Well, I don't think they're doing Kramer.
Oh, Dave's bald. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey.
It's getting warm in the room. That's what.
Was somebody saying earlier? One of you guys was saying that the Circles guitar is no longer like in the arsenal at EVH.
Right.
I don't know. I can't say for sure on that. It wasn't at the booth.
Mm-hmm. Was it there last year?
Yeah. Yes. 802 Blues. I saw a video. They had Kramer stuff with Epiphone stuff. Only saw one Kramer. Okay, so that's why I didn't see it, because there was only one there. Okay, that makes sense. And it was 802 Blues, so it was probably in that row of guitars where people were jamming. That's probably where it was.
They're really behind the Kramer company, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Nichols, check out the Ibanez Gems. I saw them. Yeah. You're talking about those reissues of the famous what is it? Green, pink, and yellow?
Yellow, yeah.
Yeah. I saw them hanging up.
Yep. And they're a lot of money. Those guitars, when they were first available in 1987, They were like $1,600, and now they're $7,000.
Oh my
The
goodness.
reissues are like $7,000. Unbelievable.
Are they better? Is the quality better, you think?
No, it's the same guitar. The same guitar as it was 30 years ago. Just a reissue of it.
$7,000?
All right, no, all right, $3,500. They're $3,500, but still, they may as well be $7,000. $3,500 for a guitar that was $1,600.
If you buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
You got to get all 3?
Dave Hubbs wants to see your purple Wolfgang.
Tell them to come back on Wednesday when it's Wolfgang Wednesday.
Wait, didn't you just show that? You showed that last Wednesday. That's in a
No,
rerun.
we didn't. I didn't show it. We had an unboxing that day, but that wasn't on the show. Didn't show it on the show.
You showed it later that night.
I don't think so. Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I have yet another guitar to show off anyway. that will wait till Wolfgang Wednesday because it's a Wolfgang.
Yeah.
You got another one? Oh, I know which one you got. Yeah.
Total Chaos. What's your favorite EVH guitar? I'll go first real quick. My favorite? Right now, I'm gonna have to go with that 5150. I thought it was cool. I thought it was very, very cool. I mean, as a lot of you know, I grew up on that guitar, Live Without a Net. Did you guys see the video of that guy's reaction to Eddie playing Live Without a Net? Did you guys watch that?
No.
You see that? I haven't seen it, but it looks cool. It looks like somebody who's never seen it. You guys in the chat, did you guys see that?
Good night, Lynn.
Good night, Lynn.
Night, Lynn.
There's a guy, apparently, there's like a reaction video of a guy watching Eddie's solo on Live Without a Net, his Eruption solo, and I'll watch it later. I haven't seen it. I'll watch it later tonight, but
I haven't seen it yet either.
You saw it?
Mhm.
Apollo Rocker saying no what vid. It's worth watching for his reaction. Tubinen one says he has so much respect for him. Cool. Yeah, great vid. He loved it. Rock and Roo says it's fantastic. Tubin one says. Paul Rocker says found it. Cool. Yeah, I'll watch it later. I haven't seen it, but as I was saying though, my favorite EVH guitar, EVH GEAR guitar. Joe Wentz says he saw it. Okay, cool. Joe, you should do a reaction video to the guy watching the Eddie solo video. Do a reaction to that.
A reaction of the reaction?
Yeah. You should do that.
Should it be a reaction?
It'll be a reaction to a reaction. You know?
Hey, Ron, I think you should get the microphone a little bit closer to your chewing.
You want me to chew a little louder?
Wow. I can't believe we still have 50 people sitting here. We've had 50 people consistently.
52, yeah, and 5 thumbs down.
For how long?
What's up with that?
Well, don't get what's his name, Dave?
Say, Anthony.
Daniel. Is it Daniel? Daniel really it's Daniel. Daniel. Dave, come on.
What?
The guy you sent the thing to.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Daniel?
Dan Hall.
Dan. Okay. Yeah. He's been going through all our videos and we just got another thumbs down. Thanks, Dave.
Well, thank the person that did it.
Well, it was probably Ron.
No, I'm chewing.
Is that Patrick chewing?
No, but Daniel. Is it Daniel? Daniel Hall, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
He's been going through all our videos that have thumbs downs, and he's been leaving these like massive comments scolding people for that. Like I can't like Dan, we really appreciate. I mean, That's got to be. He's got to be our first like super fan, man.
It's all right.
That's
A guy
awesome.
like that. That's
He got our package today, by the way. He just hasn't been well enough to open it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I told you some of those thumbs down were mistakes because 2 of them are gone. And if you don't remind people that they hit the wrong button,
Okay.
they stay there.
Well, hey, you guys forgot. You accidentally hit 4 of those thumbs downs. That was an accident, right? But anyway, Daniel, yeah, we really appreciate you, man. Yeah, he's been leaving these huge paragraph, like the comments are this long. Basically telling people like how can you guys leave a thumbs down on this video? I mean, these guys, Rob and Dave and Ron and Johnny and Jimmy are all, all they're doing is helping you guys, with the EVH stuff and how can you leave a thumbs down on this video? And yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
We all do, and
Yeah.
it's it's not every day you can just go live on YouTube and have people enjoy what you're doing.
That's right.
There's a million different people. There's
proof that 5 people don't enjoy it right now.
Well, okay, but there's a million people out there doing this exact same thing we're doing right now, and it's very, very, very cool that we've been sitting there for 2 hours. Over 2 hours, we've had 50 people consistently this entire time. We haven't lost anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
RMG, we like your chatter.
Well, it's cold in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the proof is every time I go to Guitar Center, every time somebody comes up to me and says, Johnny, I watched your show. Or at NAMM yesterday morning, every time I went to the EVH booth, I didn't even have to be at the EVH booth. I was in line for Michael Anthony and someone came up to me, but I really appreciate it. And I was telling somebody this, I was telling my friend Mike this a couple days ago. We were at the Hilton eating tacos. And we were talking about NAMM and how everybody at NAMM thinks they're a rock star. Everybody. You wouldn't believe the ego in that place. And I was telling, because you walk up to somebody, not everybody, but there's certain times you walk up to somebody and you try to talk to them or whatever, and they don't want to give you the time of day. They're like, it's like, come on. It's like, yeah, in here, everybody knows who you are. Walk outside, down the street block, nobody knows who you are. Come on. You
mean you're not really Johnny Bean?
Well, no, I am. I actually am. But so I was telling Mike, at NAMM, and he gets this too, because he's the guy. Everybody knows him as the guy with the Van Halen guitar that he won at NAMM back in 1985. He gets. Even we were talking to the guitarist from Taylor Swift.
Brian, what's his name? Brian.
Paul,
Brian, Peter.
Yeah. And he said, "Hey, aren't you the guy that won that guitar?" Like he knew who he was. The guy from Taylor Swift knew who Mike was. And so we were just and Paul, he's a great guy, very, very cool. We've talked to him many times. But so Mike and I, we were just sitting there eating tacos, and we were just talking about how it's a blessing just to have some random person come up to you and say, "Hey, are you so and so? I really like what you do." It never gets old.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when you know you see those people and Mike was saying how there was somebody, I won't name any names, but there was somebody who he used to talk to at NAMM years ago, and then they kind of became somebody everybody knows who they are now, but and now he's actually seen a change in the way they act, and there's a there's a difference. And there was actually another guy we were watching there. I'm not going to name any names, but there's another guy, and he was like, you could tell he didn't want to be there, and to pose for a picture, he was like, didn't want any part of it, and even though a lot of us, the three of us here, there's two other guys, Eric and Mark and Philip McKnight, tons of people came up to him when I was with him, aren't you Philip? A lot of kids actually, a lot of kids watch his reviews, but a lot of people came up to all of us and just thanked all of us for what we do on here, and it's that never gets old. That'll never get old.
Hey, Johnny.
Dude, you can't. Don't bother me. I'm talking here. No, I'm just kidding. This is Johnny talking. You can't talk to me. What?
No, I'm just gonna say real quick. This is something you guys all you guys out there, you might be interested in this. Just so you know, a buddy of mine has 2 tickets for the Super Bowl game in Houston. He's got a luxury suites reserved at the stadium, airline tickets, valid from any U.S. airport, hotel suite, tickets to attend 2 pregame parties. He's got all this stuff. The problem is he somehow failed to realize that the game's scheduled for the same day as his wedding, so he can't go. So if any of you guys are interested and you'd like to go instead of him, it's at the St. Peter's Church in New York City at 5 p.m. Her name is Louise. She's 5'4", about 125 pounds, a good cook, and makes 180 grand a year as a stockbroker. She'll be the one in the white dress.
Okay.
It's very funny.
That's a joke.
I've heard that before.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know.
What? Are people falling asleep here?
No.
No, but I need to go to sleep because I got to be up at 4 a.m.
Had to wake everybody up with that. Okay, so you got to go. You're saying?
I can wait a couple minutes.
Couple minutes. So let me just finish real quick. So anyway, that was funny. So hey, if you need a wife, this is where she's going to be at this time. I'll be at the game. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, like, let me just say really quickly, man. I mean, it's amazing that people really dig watching these things that we do. Ron and Dave and Eric and Mark and McKnight and
Joe Wentz,
Pinky Licks. Joe Wentz, everybody.
Everyone.
We're all doing the same thing here.
Yeah. Speaking of Pinky Licks, did you see him in there? Pixie Licks?
I Pixie Licks. I didn't see him, but McKnight saw him. I just saw a picture on Instagram.
He lives in Mass. His name is Steve something. He does these videos himself in his basement. He's got a really big following. His name is Pixie Licks, and he's an amazing guitar player. Big guy, big dude, and he's just incredible. He's got all kinds of guests on there, Tone King and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Tone King. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, and Andertons. We're all doing the same stuff, and it's just really cool. It's really cool just to be just to have somebody come up to you and say, hey, I really dig what I watch your show. I really dig what you do.
Yeah.
Take a picture. Bottom line, it never, for me, it'll never get old. It's a blessing. Yeah. It really is. I never expected, to get anything out of this. I mean, I'm a musician. I play, I tour. I mean, that's really what I do. Sitting here on a mic, this isn't me. Anybody who knows the real me, this is not me sitting here. So a lot of people are probably in shock that I'm actually doing this thing here, sitting here on YouTube talking to people. But
it's not really you, so we're not worried about it.
Well, okay. Well, it's not really me, but maybe it is the real me because I'm sitting here doing it.
But I thought it wasn't you. Was it someone else?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is me. Maybe this is me. Let me tell you guys a joke real quick. I came up with this in the car on the way home from LA yesterday. Maybe I should just say this on her. This is another Johnny original joke. Okay. What was it? I was telling my wife. You know, we have a rooster. You know, he wakes us up every morning, right? His name's Golden Child. And I told my wife, I'm like, well, Golden Child, he should get into radio. You know, he should do like a radio morning show. And the promo would be Golden Child. It'd be Golden Child. Instead of 8 to 10 mornings, Golden Child, egg to hen mornings. Is that funny at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it is funny, I came over.
If it's funny, leave some more thumbs ups.
Yes.
Because
I'll tell you another one. Here's another one. Here's another joke I made up. I made this up. So you'll hear it. Actually, go back on Twitter and MySpace years ago and you'll see this. But here's another thing I made up here. I should be a comedian maybe. I should do a stand up. Why did the Pillsbury dope boy stick his head in the oven?
Don't know.
Because he wanted to be bread.
That deserves a thumbs down.
Is that? Oh no! I messed it up. Why'd the Pillsbury Doughboy stick his head in the oven? He wished he was bread. There we go. That was it. He wished he was bread.
Wished he was bread. Okay.
Yeah. I wrote that joke years ago. And here it is now on my YouTube. So it's copyright.
We'll be here all week. Try the veal.
I'll be here Wednesday and Friday. Johnny is a hologram, Dan says. Yeah. No, sitting here on YouTube talking through a microphone. If any of you guys knew me over the years, this isn't me. This is not my personality to do this stuff. I play guitar. I have stage fright like you wouldn't believe. On here, I guess I don't, because I'm just looking at a camera. I know you're in there. I know everybody's looking at me though. But I've said before, doing a YouTube show. Oh, look, my goodness, look at Dave. Doing the EVH Gear Live or whatever you want to call this, the Johnny Bean Show or the Dave Nesdall Hour or the Ron
Johnson,
the L. Ron Hubbard,
whatever you want to call this. It's really helped with just talking to people.
Yeah,
as far as public speaking or.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. So anyway, for the last hour, I've been trying to say is I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all of you that watch this and leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, leave a thumbs up at the door when you're on your way out.
All right. Does Ron have to go to bed?
Yeah, probably.
Do we have to put the Ron out?
You got to put the Ron out. You got to put the chickens to bed. You got to put the Robs to bed.
Okay. Well, I need to talk to you guys before we get off the call real quick. So, okay. Well, let's call it then.
Bye.
Cool.
Let's bye.
All right.
See you later, everyone.
Did we even get through all the EVH stuff? We did. We got through the Wolf, the EVH, the Eddie Van Halen, the Edward Van Halen signature, the.
We didn't really talk about the black and yellow.
The black and yellow?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we did.
Really.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just a new special with the Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
All right.
That's it. Right?
Yes.
The main thing is that 5150 guitar. And again, go to Guitarist Johnny B on Facebook, go to EVH Gear Live on Facebook, go to Johnny Bean on Instagram, and you will see tons of pictures and photos of that guitar, every angle, the headstock, every angle, all that stuff. It's all over the Eddie Van Halen Facebook page, all that.
The coolest Van Halen guitar ever.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. What's your favorite? Dave, real quick. Favorite EVH Gear guitar?
The USA Wolf.
Okay. Ron.
EVH, it has to be EVH Gear guitar or Eddie Van Halen guitar?
EVH Gear. For 2017, not in your room.
Yeah, come on.
5150 guitar.
Well, I think it was all time, but I don't think that matters. All right. I'm gonna leave my avatar on because that is the guitar I'm talking about.
Yep.
So,
I
yes.
don't know what's the deal with the stripe that's not connected to the rest of them.
Stay tuned. We'll talk about that Wednesday.
Oh,
For Where's Rob Wednesday?
Where's Rob Wolfgang?
we'll talk about a new guitar, Dave, and
Where's the rest of the stripe Wednesday?
Yeah. Where in the world is the stripe?
Well, let's just talk about that real quick. I think it's cool. It makes it different. You know, I think possibly the reason why that stripe is there, and I know you guys maybe you don't know what we're talking about. Go to guitarist Johnny Bean or go to EVH Gear Live on Facebook right now and look at the photos of the 5150 guitar, and you'll see on the top of the guitar, it's like right above the black stripe that goes down. Like, look at my avatar. See the black stripe that goes down the body? You'll notice there's a white stripe that doesn't quite connect. There's like two pieces of like tape there. I think it's possible they did that just so they could recognize it, just like quickly. You know?
Yeah, because I
Like,
think that's different than on the original one.
it's not on the original. It's connected.
Yeah. Well, it's possible they did that just so they could tell that was their guitar just from a glance.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why they did that. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's your story. That's Johnny's story sticking to it.
That's my. What was that? I keep hearing that sound.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's Johnny's story and he's sticking to it.
What is going on over there? All right, we're out of here. We're leaving. Thank you everybody for watching this stuff. This was my NAMM recap, and we kind of recapped, a lot of stuff here. But if you dig this stuff, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And keep watching. We'll be back Wednesday. Dave Nesdal has a guitar he wants to show off for Wolfgang Wednesday.
Yeah.
So.
And Chris Hubbard, I'll show the purple one again for you.
Cool.
Hubs, I sent you a text yesterday. You never answered me.
All right, we're out of here. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Johnny Bean, johnnybean.com. Have a good night, 802 Blues. Thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Yes, go like our pages on Facebook, EVH Gear Live on Facebook, EVH Gear Live on Twitter, and EVH Gear Live on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Check them out. All right. Good night, everybody.
See
you
ya.
guys Wednesday. Bye.
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 Bye.